Hi, my name is Womp Rat, and today we're going to be playing some Orcs Must Die 2, Part 7 of Act 2 in our Trapless Experiment. Today's level, Wind Up. And what an aptly named level that is, because we are winding up the Trapless Experiment only one more level after today. That level, of course, being Twisted Halls, but today we're going to be talking about Wind Up. So, the first things you might notice about this level is that we have 12 waves and only 35 rift points to do it. And that's with our Rift Defender trinket, which extends our rift points somewhat. Now you might notice that we're in a very long hallway, kind of similar to corridors. However, this level won't be as easy as corridors was. Corridors, of course, was 11 waves of easy. That orc right there not wanting to die to our crossbow at all. And one wave hard. This is a little bit different in the way that it's set up. Currently we have orcs rushing us from just this entrance. There are 3 entrances to this level. We will be going back and forth between the 2 downstairs entrances eventually. And there will be a couple more waves where it's just upstairs orcs. But the majority of our time is going to be spent balancing between the 2 downstairs entrances and thwarting the orcs' short walk to a rift point really close to those entrances. Alright, headshot to finish him off. We're going to go ahead and come down here. This is the second point of entry in the level. On the map, you can see another point of entry to the south. It's down a short flight of stairs. It's kind of the basement entrance to the level. So, let's talk about wrapping up the Trapless Experiment. And to do that, let's talk about where we started off and what we've gone through to get to where we are today in Wind Up. So, the Trapless Experiment originally started before I had any video capture equipment at all. It was just me, Orcs Must Die 2, and some odd thoughts in my head. Now, I had just discovered that there were bonuses, skull bonuses, for getting through a level with Untouchable, Trapless, and Manaless, and I thought to myself, in order to better farm some skulls and fill out my spell book, maybe I could go through the first level without any traps, mana, and getting Untouchable. And so I did that, and that put the seed in my head of, well, can I do this with the next couple of levels? They're all pretty easy at the very beginning. And I tested that out in my own time, and that just kind of stuck there in the back of my head. And then once I started doing weekly challenge videos, I actually started recording some of the Trapless Experiment videos as kind of a little fun thing to do between weekly challenges. So we started off in the edge. Very basic, very standard level. You can do it with pretty much one weapon, almost one of any weapon. It's not too hard. But we went through it, and we beat it. We 5-skulled it, but we laid down the foundation of what the Trapless Experiment was supposed to be. You know, beat the game without using traps. And if we could not beat a level, use as few traps as possible. So, you know, let's look at the track record so far. We're on level 14 out of 15. We've only had to bring barricades. There's only been one level that we have not been able to beat without traps, and that one we used traps. That is a very good track record for clearing the game without traps. Then we got one more level to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. Yeah, we have to bring barricades. It's a very similar situation to what we found ourselves in Crunch. Just 2... In this case, it's 2 rifts. Same kind of thing, 2 directions. And having to split our attention between the 2, we have to bring some barricades with us. Though I think you'll be surprised at how few we need comparatively to Crunch. So we started off in the edge, We made modest progress through Act 1, 5-sculling everything until we got to Precipice, which was a defining moment in the Trapless Experiment. Now, why would I say that Precipice, the finale of Act 1, was a defining moment? Well, up until this point, I had been 5-sculling everything, and I very much wanted to 5-skull every level. It was kind of how I defined victory, was getting that 5 skulls. However, I put up the video, and in the video I had mentioned that I had gotten through with 2 skulls without using any traps, and then I got some mail from some viewers, and I had some of my friends talk to me and say, hey, I really want to see this 2-skull footage. You know, what you did was okay, it was because of barricades, but I want to see this 2-skull, no barricades footage. So I went through, I recorded it, and I put it up. And that was a defining moment for me, because that's what we've been doing ever since. You know, I can show you 5-skull passages with barricades. I can show you, you know, any level that I've done, I can show you a 5-skull version of it where I bring barricades. But it isn't as hard, it isn't as challenging to me to do that. So that's where we took our stance on that, was, you know, bringing as few as possible and always trying to sneak through the level with no traps if at all possible. So after Precipice, I moved halfway across the country. It took me a while to get all my stuff set up and to get moved in. A week longer than I would have liked, but, you know, got back into the game playing Servant's Entrance, and, you know, it wasn't too hard of a level. We got through it, and afterward, we hit our first roadblock in the Trapless Experiment passages. Like I said, I had a 5-skull barricades version ready, pretty much right out of the gate, but just due to the nature of the level and how it just flows to one rift, you know, all paths lead to that one rift, I felt that, you know, it wouldn't be a 5-skull victory, but I could probably sneak off a 2-skull victory on that level. And I put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I ended up going ahead and recording some other levels before I was able to get the footage I needed, but we did get it. So that was the roadblock there. I think it took me the better part of a month to get that footage. And then we continued on our path of traplessness and got pretty far. We got up to Crunch, where I had to kind of do another jump forward and show you guys some footage of another level.
Keep it coming.
But Crunch was hard. Crunch was actually a level I wanted to beat. I wanted to beat that level so bad without using traps. And I think my track record for it is I've gotten up to wave 11 once, and that was with very, very few rift points. I want to say I had like 3 rift points left. And that was just ridiculous. I knew at that point that I would need barricades or something, so I was really begrudgingly not wanting to use barricades, so I put up grinders to not have to worry about those flyers in that level. And even then, you know, you get to wave 12 and you have seen what lays at wave 12. I needed some funneling action, and so begrudgingly we set the task, we put down those barricades, and even with the barricades, it's not a cakewalk, it's still pretty rough. Crunch in many ways kind of made me feel like I left the WarMage kind of broken and disheveled, writhing on the ground in pain, because that level was a beast of a level. It is very well named. Crunch. And they're not talking about the orcs that we killed. They're talking about you know, the WarMage, about the sorceress. It is a rough level. And, you know, we've gone through more levels, and here we are. I mean, I'll talk about Mirror Image for just a minute. Mirror Image was one of those levels where I thought I might have to take barricades at first, and we ended up going through without any traps and succeeding. And that was kind of in the way that I set up a training regimen for me for that specific level. It's not a very long level like Corridors, where you had to invest 20 minutes to get to wave 12. Mirror Image was a really quick level, and you know, I got that 5 skull barricade footage. It's really ridiculous. Then there's I ended up going from barricades to using grinders to take care of most of the kobolds in that level. Even with that particular strategy, you end up with some kobolds that get through, as there's a little narrow gap for them to get through. And eventually, you know, I was like, okay, training wheels are coming off. I put on the recorder, and that's the video you guys watched. Alrighty, so that puts us up to pretty much present. Go ahead and use our Rift Defender trinket. Get that nice long stun up, and go around here and shoot these guys. Chain lightning making some really nice jumps. We had a kobold sneak through on the left. It happens though, can't win them all. I'm not even sure that we get through anyway if I'm pretty sure that Wave 12 will probably be a lot of fun, kind of like it is on most levels. So not too bad. We've gotten through 11 of our 12 waves. Guess I'll point out some of the things that I haven't mentioned at this point, because I was talking about the Trapless Experiment as a whole. We've seen some big Cyclopses with stabs. Those are Cyclops mages. Those guys are really not a lot of fun. They have a heat-seeking death orb that they throw out. You can see them back there. You can see that little guy with the headdress? Yeah, that is a goblin shaman. They will resurrect units that you kill. Unless, for whatever reason, you kill them in such a way that they are deemed unresable. Those particular ways of killing people are acid orb. If their body decays to fire, pretty much if you freeze and shatter the body, that'll do it too. If we were using traps, things like the wall blades that cut them up into little tiny pieces were just... Oh, also explosions. Explosions work very well too. But for what we have, our best bets for denying them being resurrected are going to be our Alchemist Satchel to acid bomb them, and flame bracers for setting them on fire and turning them into a charred husk of an orc. She's going to go through here using our hammer and slaying them. We're on wave 12 now. We've lost 5 rift points. It's not too bad. We'll try to get through without losing too much more. And like I said, you know, a lot of our level stems from starting out down here at the basement, popping back up to the other one over here. Let's go ahead and put down something to occupy them. And come down here. Grab some mana, start lighting these guys up. Okay, some of them are going in. Need to turn around and deal with this. So we lost 4 rift points. Let's try to, you know, keep that as the amount that we've lost, using our Kobold Sapper to our advantage, having him blow up his Orc friend. And we've got lots of Orcs left, so let's go ahead and just kind of try to get rid of them. Use our Rift Defenders, get some extra mana. Just making sure that that lightning is jumping correctly. They got our hammer and, yeah, smack him down. And, you know, not much left. It looks like there's not going to be that much left. Whatever's going to come around that corner. So it looks like we're going to have archers as the last thing we're going to have to deal with. And I don't expect any of them to make it through the portal, so I'm just going to call it now and say 26 rift points. Finish that guy off in proper Orcs Must Die fashion. There we go, wind up. 3 skulls. That's not bad. Wondering if we went over par. Go ahead and check that out. No, we came in under par. Guess there isn't a whole lot of room for error on this level. Anyhow, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and thumbs up it. If you want to subscribe to my channel, feel free to do so. Guys, it has been a lot of fun. We have the finale coming up. And as always, I'm Womp Rat, signing off.